Hi everybody in Year 6, how are you all? We miss you very much. So today I'm going to read you the first part of one of the stories from The World's Worst Children by David Williams, and the story that I've chosen for you today is of a girl called Sofia Sofa. All Sofia wanted to do was to sit at the sofa all day, watching television. Sofia Sofa was without a doubt one of the absolute worst children in the world. She never went to school or helped her mum with chores around the house, or even got up to have dinner at the dining table. All she did was sit and watch TV. It didn't matter what was on: soap operas, game shows, detective shows, gardening programs, talent shows, cartoons, political programs, even shows about old, boring junk that the presenter pretended were priceless antiques. As long as the screen was flickering, Sofia was glued to it. Adverts were her absolute favourite. Sometimes she felt that the programmes got in the way of the adverts. All day and all night, Sofia would sit slumped on the sofa in front of TV, eating and watching. Crisps, biscuits, cake, sweets and chocolate were her favourite foods, to gobble as she watched. If an advert came on for crisps, biscuits, cake, sweet or chocolate, then she would shout to her mum to bring her more. "Mother," she would yell, "chocolate, now!" The girl's poor mum, she was poor because she had to spend all her money on colossal amounts of food for her daughter, would have to dash out to the corner shop to buy Sofia a bar of chocolate. However, by the time the woman returned home, Sofia would have seen another advert for something else she wanted to scoff, and she'd send her mum straight back out the door again. "Mother, cake!" Watching and eating, eating and watching. That's all Sofia did. Her eyes had actually become square from staring at the box all day. The only exercise Sofia took was changing channels on the television. But because she had a remote control, this was nothing more than pressing a button with her finger. Still, sometimes her finger would get tired and she would shout out to her mum, "Mother, channel 3, now!" It would come as no surprise to you that one day Sofia's mum decided enough was enough. "It's time you stopped watching television and got off your bottom for once, young lady," commanded the woman. "Nah, mother," muttered Sofia, not looking up from the television. "I just got to find out what happens at the end of this programme, thingy." "What do you mean, Sofia, the end of the episode?" asked Mum. "No, the end of the series," replied Sofia Sofa. "There is no end. You're watching a soap opera. It will go on forever. Come on, young lady, up." With that, Mum put her hand under her daughter's armpits and attempted to hoist her upwards. 3, 2, 1, heave! Eventually, she managed it, but the sofa came with Sofia. The girl had been sitting there for so long, she had become completely wedged in. In fact, the two had somehow fused, and it was impossible to tell where the girl ended and the piece of furniture began. Sofia had become half girl, half sofa. Not that she was bothered. The girl just carried on staring at the television throughout the whole process. When Dad returned home from work, Mum enlisted his help. Together the pair of them tried to prise their daughter from the sofa. Dad put a foot up on one arm of the sofa to create leverage and directed his wife to do the same. 3, 2, 1, heave! But the girl simply would not budge. So Sofia's parents called upon the neighbours in their street of terraced houses to help. The plan was to create a human chain. The combined strength of 100 people would surely separate Sofia from the sofa. Some folk huddled inside the living room, while many others lined up behind them outside. "Get out of the way of the TV!" shouted Sofia. Dad was at the front with his arms wrapped around his daughter. Mum held on to him. Indira from next door held on to her, and so on. Arms linked as the human chain stretched all the way down the street. 3, 2, 1, heave! Called out. And that's it for today. You can find out what happens to Sofia next time. Will she be finally prized away from her beloved sofa and her TV? That's it for now then. Bye, Essex.